This video is powered by LearnToPlay.live, the only hardware synth performance course. Register now and enjoy 40% off. How to boost drum sounds, analog drum sounds. Today I am boosting my TR-909 drum computer with my AKM1 analog mixer. That's going to be today's video. Are you ready for that? Let's go and do that right now. Hey, what's up? I'm Analog Kitchen and thank you for checking out yet another video. Now, if this is your first time here, don't hesitate to click subscribe and hit that notification bell. Whenever I upload a new video, you'll be kept in the loop and you'll not miss out on anything. Do stick around till the end of this video because I will tell you all about LearnToPlay.live, a new platform catered to DAWless performances, just something that is going to be available in September of this year, so do stay tuned. As Superboot is coming pretty soon, I was thinking, what is a video that I can do that really encompasses everything that I'm about? What is it? I love analog sound. I love vintage producing. I love old school drum computers. But there is a thing with old school drum computers, as you might know. Of course, the frequency range was different back in the days. There's not so much highs and not so much lows as back in the vinyl days. Not all frequencies that are vibrant and pumping today, you couldn't really press them onto vinyl. There is a bit of a technical situation. When you got the groove of the record, when it's stereo, over on one side is the left side and over the other side is the right side, and the needle just basically bounces between it. So if there's too much low end, it would mean that the needle just push through the physical vinyl, and that's not possible. Today that we're not on vinyl anymore, ranges have widened, so there's a lot more low end and a lot more high end. So even with new styles like trap and whatever, there's so much sub bass that even got enhanced even since the drum and bass days, that it's a different vibe, you know? Well, having said that though, then you look at an iconic machine like the TR-909, that means that that kick drum is going to lack a little bit of low end in terms of the modern day kicks that are used for techno, that are used for drum and bass, that are used for dubstep, whatever, you name it. So, is there a way to overcome that? Yes, but do you need to? Well, that's a debate and that's a different sort of like topic for a different video, but I thought I'd like to get my 909 a little bit more in the ballpark. Top kicks, sub kicks. I don't want to layer kicks. I don't want to be, you know, being all sound designy when I'm performing live. I just want to place a set it and forget it kind of situation onto the mixer, and that should work. Now, as you may or may not know, if you're watching this video for the first time, hi, I'm here. And over the course of the last maybe 4 years, I have been dreaming up and thinking of an analog mixer catered to DAWless production. Now, last week I introduced it to the world. Thanks everyone for the kind and really cool comments. It's still a prototype, so there's a lot of stuff that is not finished yet. So yes, I do know, you know, certain switches, they pop and they click and they do and whatever, but it's there. It's holding together and it sounds like a brick wall. And that's exactly what it is. Now, what happens, back on topic, if we're going to just like get that 909 drum computer spread out over the different faders and enhance it a little bit? Now, this is by no means a thorough sort of like rundown of what every frequency does. Videos in the future will be there. Specifications of what the mixer does and where the sweet spots are will also follow in the near future. Today though, it's like fairly simple, rudimentary stuff. Hook up the 909 to the AKM1 mixer and see if we can enhance certain sounds and see if it works. So there's a 1010 black box for a sample, there's the sub 37, and then there's the almighty 909. And I promised it last week, there are also 3 stereo auxiliary sends on the mixer. Let's get into them as well. Now if you're ready, fasten your seatbelts, buckle up, let's go do it. You ready? Let's go. So the setup is different again. Here it is, the AKM1 mixer. the mixer that's catered to DAWless production. I've introduced it last week. It's something I've been working on for about the better part of, I think, 4 years. So me and Ferry, we worked it out on how we're going to do it. The specifications are going to be shared pretty soon. So on what the range of the EQ is, how it goes like step by step, how it goes in what's actually happening with this mixer, I will show you. But today I thought let's go really back to basics. And can we enhance the 909 drum computer? Because if you know these sounds, they are cool, but they're also very 90s. So it means, you know, how do they sound? Can you enhance it? So there's just a small introduction. I have got the drum, everything is just split out. Now the cool part is these are all stereo faders, DJ style faders, right? With the first 2 channels being 3-band EQs. So literally this is also a channel that we can use for vinyl. There are some final, so this is the final part. In the final product you can choose whether you would like to have like a 3-band classic DJ style EQ, or you would like to go for what I would call more the DAWless EQ, which is dual concentric EQs with the initial bands going from 50 Hertz all the way down here, all the way up to 1K. And then this will go from 1K all the way up to, what is it, 18 Hertz or something. There's some nice transformers in here. You'll engage the highs like this, the lows like this, and this whole section underneath goes to the master EQ, which is lows, mids, and highs. Now, then there obviously is a master filter that you can also engage like here, but we'll get to that stuff. There's going to be clicks and pops because this is the prototype anyway. I mean, there are zero crossing channels, switches in here, but you know, just bear with me. Now, what have I got? I wanted to know if you have like nice transformers underneath, and it's really the kind of transformers that you would like to drive up a little bit, how would it sound? Now, that's the mixer. We'll get to that in a second. There's a Zoom recording everything that I'm doing over here. I'm pretty much talking so you can hear what I'm doing. There's a black sky sitting right here, because I also promised that I was going to put some effects on the mixer, so that's what I've done today. So there's 3 stereo auxiliary sends. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Gain, highs, mids, lows, high mids, low mids. So pretty self-explanatory. This is the master, this is the booth, and then there's a rec out on the mixer as well. Headphones, dual, so there's a lot of stuff that can be done. Now, when I'm going to play this drum computer, it sounds like you would expect. Now, what I've done in terms of getting the MIDI to also correspond, I've got the RK008 by Drumcomputer sitting right here. I've got a black box taking care of some samples and maybe some, you know, effects and stuff, and that's connected to the almighty MIDI fighter sitting right here. So these knobs correspond to the cells right here. So if I press one of them, something will arm. Sub 37, I've got it sitting right here. It plays. Let's listen to how the sends work. So the sends are here. So I don't know what our stock wears, but we'll find out pretty soon. Sounds like delay. So that's delay here. The second one's going to be woo. Nice. Black sky right here. And the third one is chorus. So yeah, we can get that old Juno thing going. So I've got delay, I've got reverb, and I've got a chorus, which means I can make a decent mix. Nice. Right? Okay, so what I'll do is I'll tone it down. This is just a bare sub 37. I'll make a bass. Cool. Now let's play the drums. The 909 is going to be the clock, so it means it triggers the black box, but it also triggers the RK008. So we're going to listen to what's happening right here. First, let's tone this down. Go here. I see certain things happening. Let's listen to the kick first. Okay. Nice. It's that classic 909 kick. We all know it. We all love it. What happens if we'll enhance the EQ? Let's put a little bit of low end on there. Do you hear it? This is out of the box. And what I've done also on the 909 is that the attack is on full, the decay is on full, and the levels is on full, obviously, but the tuning is on 10 past. So if this would be 12 o'clock, obviously this is just between 10 and 10 past and a quarter past. Because it's very snappy. Here it gets that 808 characteristic, right? If you turn the tuning all the way down. But on the mixer, I think it just hits the transformers a little bit too aggressively for my liking. It's up to you what you would like to do with it, obviously. So, but here it tones it down to the point where I think, yeah, that's manageable. Now, these gain controls are a little bit more of attenuating gaining control, because it works differently with the cardinal transformers. Obviously, if you're going to, you know, it's not just a way of turning up the volume, because they've got different frequency bands that you can actually adjust. So what will happen is that there's a lot of here, you know, doesn't really do that much, but once you hit 12 o'clock, you really start to drive the transformers. Can you hear it? So with this mixer, blinking is absolutely awesome. When it blinks red, it does the trick. Listen to the low end. If I'm going to dial in low end, if you can debate if there's any low end on a 909 kick, but you know, just, you know, humor me. So I put a dial in the middle, and I'm going to just like sweep through this frequency here, yeah? So, at the moment, it stops at 400. This picks up later. So between 400 and about 2-3K, there's nothing there. I thought, because if you have a machine, pretty much the mid-range is okay when you're trying to sum up a Kai next to an Octatrack, next to a Tenson Black Box, next to a Deluge or whatever, or a Digitect, whatever. But we're going to change it. I'm going to definitely change it up, because I think that the EQ range needs to be different. So for now, do you hear how you can find a sweet spot? And this is what I love about analog EQing. It pretty much says awesome until it says crapola, right? Here you get a little bit more of the mid-range. Here you get a little bit more of that sub. Right? But we're going to attenuate this as well, so that it just, you know, I want my levels to be easier to mix, because I know what I'm doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, or you're not so savvy on what frequencies do and how they work, you could get lost, and I don't want you to get lost, right? Okay, so this is my kick drum. Without it, and with it, without it, and with it. Now heads. This is the closed head coming from the 909. When I open it up, usually it becomes way louder. But now, since it's already saturated a little bit, going through the transformers, I think it's a little bit more of a pleasing sound, at least to my ears then. Now, this in a club is absolutely awesome. I love that. You know, so I've got this head sitting like so. Now, also there's something that I didn't mention. I want to sum up this stuff here so that I don't have to mix it like a conventional mixer, trying to figure out the different levels. I just want to just like throw my fader, bam! So I know that I don't overshoot, because if this is your level and you're in a club and you're throwing in the fader, of course, as this is a mixer dedicated to live performances, if this would be your 0 point, if you do this in a club, there's some people going home nauseous. And I don't think that that's the point. So I want to set everything here so that I can fully open up the faders, so I don't have to think about anything else. So my mixer will always be faders up. That's just the DJ style of mixing. Now, what have we got? I've got a clap sitting right here. My 909's got a pretty enthusiastic clap. So if you listen to this, I'll take out the high ends of the hi-hat so you can hear it better. Low end, that I don't really need on this clap, but yeah, if you would like to. Neat. You can turn it into an 808 clap almost if you would like to. High end. How fresh is that? So without the EQ, with the EQ, a little bit of brightness there. I'll turn it down a little bit. Cool. Hats. Nice. Now, before I start introducing right cymbal, then a snare drum. Don't know if I've engaged the snare drum already. Let's see. No, it's not. Let's do that quick fast. So I'd like to have my drum roll playing at all times, so that once I open the fader, I don't have to do anything else, and I can just like manually introduce my drum roll to make a point. Where is it? I can hear certain things are, yep. Nice. So same thing goes here. Take out the highs. Nice. So I can get a nice snappy top on the snare. Take it out. Low end. Listen to this. I can really hear the low booming. Go into it. Nice. Very cool, right? So, and I'll perform from that to that, and you'll introduce your right cymbal, for instance. So, pretty simple. Now that I've got that, let's go and see how this first channel works, because obviously we've got the DJ style EQ, similar routine. And a word of information, you can actually, if you're pressed for stuff, you can switch these channels into mono. So literally, if I'm listening to the clap right here, so obviously it is a mono sound. Now, you can hear I switched it to stereo, which means that if you have stereo information, you can just, like, you know, stick stereo information here. But if it's a mono sound, you just switch it. And that's what I've done with everything, so that you don't have to fiddle about when you want to engage with a sub 37 over here. Obviously, that, you know, it's just cumbersome stuff. So that's easy. So that's also a nice feature on the mixer. Now let's go and open this up, because this is a stereo sound, obviously, on the first one, because this is going to be my 1010 black box, right? And I'm going to play a, let's see, now it's running. I can see this running. Everything's running. This runs and that runs. So now we're going to play this sound. Nice, I'm liking that. And I'm going to see if I can lay down something that's going to, you know, turn this thing almost into a track, almost. Right? Now I'm going to record a bass line on here. So, which means, like, I've got my little sound sitting right here. I'm going to engage it so that when I play this, instantly my ARP starts playing. This is a sample coming from the black box, right? Now, I don't want to record MIDI on the black box. I can, but I don't want to do it. I can even trigger the 909 with external instruments to play something here. But what I would like, though, is I would like to play something on here. So we're going to wait for the turnaround, engage it. I know what the bass line is going to be. 1, 2, 3, and. Okay, stop, now again. There you go. Cool. Nice one. See, we can record the automation in there, which means that I'm going to go and say output is also going to be channel 9. Cool. So I get out of there. That means that I can now press record and say guess I just need to do that manually. I don't think it's recorded. No, well, cool. Now I think that I'm enhancing the sound pretty much. Let's look at what this bass has in store for us, right? Play. Well, that's delay, obviously. Reverb. Yeah, I'm liking this. Let's look at this EQ here. Gain it up a little bit. This is what I like about this mixer, right? Take out the kick, play this bass line. Please arrive. Kick drum. Nice one. Well, you know, it's an idea, but I'm really enjoying the fact that now everything is centered around what I do on my mixer here, right? And I've got room for other stuff as well. Now, I was experimenting with this snare drum because in mono mode, like I just played it to you, I can actually say, okay, you know what? It's actually dual mono mode, meaning I can stick the snare drum into the kick drum, and just like, or whatever, I can use this one channel in mono mode for two different inputs, obviously. So the kick and something else. For the clap, that's not doing anything. I can easily stick it on. You know, for instance, I can stick it into the kick. So this is then 16 channels, ideally. Of course, it's the sum of everything that's going into it, but it could work, you know. Okay, now let's still focus a little bit on the effects. The clap can have a little bit of reverb, I think, right? So maybe shorter. Wow, liking that. That's cool. Now, I mean, obviously 3 stereo sounds, that's luxury, man. I'm really liking that. Cool. That's the delays. Maybe put a flanger on the hat. Yeah, I'm really enhancing the sound here. I'm really liking it. Nice. Can even make a rumble kick here. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm liking it. Cool. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay. Get a different bass line going. Nice. Let's go in. Say, filter it up maybe. Nice one. Cool. Let's go into that second bass note. It's playing right here. I can mute it. Say, I'll mute this and I'll engage this one. So I'm in performance mode now. Oh, nice. Okay, so I'm going to erase the second track. This is something that was already playing there. Cool. Now I'm thinking I want to make it a little bit more on the ground, right? This is very hypnotic. See if I can redo that. I'm liking it, but right, I'm liking it. And oh, cool, yeah. Yeah. Record mode. 1, 2, 3. Nice. I think that I have to quantize a little bit as well. Cool, quantize the beat. Instrument select, go for the clap. Clap is playing on the 2s and 4s. I think that I can alter the clap to play a little bit more. Yeah, nice. Well, I guess that, you know, it's an idea, but you got the idea. Jedi mind control. So what do you think? Leave a comment in the section below, because I really enjoy this vibe. Now, so looking at Super Booth, we are going to be present there as well. I will not be in the chat tonight because we're having an event at this moment. Shut it. We're having an event this moment. I am in Arnhem, which means the other half of my split personality is making an appearance there. We're doing a kitchen club night at Willemijn. So if you're in Holland and you're watching this and you're on the couch thinking, hey, that's close to where I am, do by all means come out there. Master D's playing, 45 kHz playing. I will be playing later, and it's going to be cool. So there's workshop that just finished. 2 hours of me explaining on how this stuff works, and then in and the night event will just go. If that's going to be a bit of a stretch, but you are going to go to Super Booth, we're going to be at a venue called Urban Spree on the Friday night. So with Honey Smack, with Tomo, with also 45 kHz going to be performed there. There's just going to be a lot of folks out there. I'll throw a link on where we are and what we're going to do up in the description below, so that's going to be cool. Absolutely awesome. Now that night is also going to be powered by LearnToPlay.live, which is a platform that me and a few cats have come up with, how can you learn how to play live? I think it's very important that if you want to learn this stuff, that you get some good guidance on where to start and what to buy, what not to buy, what to do, what not to do. So what better than to ask the industry and see if they can be there. Now, if you haven't heard of immersive audio listening or Dolby Atmos, it might not really ring a bell for most of you, but it's something that I think is going to be very adamant and very popular in the future. It's just a new way of listening to sound, which can enhance your performances as well. So there is a teacher that's going to teach you that. His name is Attibau. He's a teacher in Dutch conservatory. He's really like a Grammy-nominated sound engineer. So who better to teach you stuff than him? Same goes for DJ Pierre over in Chicago. Him, you know, we spoke to him. He really loves telling you about the heyday and acid, but also how do you incorporate stuff like that. Like Joe Smooth when it comes to house music, Traversy when it comes to modular stuff, Grit, Retro Kids when it comes to MIDI stuff. Most stuff we thought of, and it's going to be a 32-week course, and this course is going to start in September. So we're now enrolling people. Join the movement and you'll get a 40% off even if you sign up right now. Now, that's all cool, nice and dandy. So if you're in Arnhem in Holland or close to it, you know, get your butts over here, because at this moment I think in an hour, Master D is going to start performing in an hour or something. So, and then 45 kilohertz is here, and also the kitchen analog, I'm also here. So, okay, if not anything else, I'll catch you next week on another video. Stay cool, stay analog, leave a comment in the section below, and don't be a stranger. I'm out, peace.